Today, you know that we are actually doing the revision on heat, isn't it? Okay, so the topic that I will be doing is actually heat. So I will quickly just run through a little bit with you. Okay, all right, just a very quick recall of heat. So what is this topic about? So if you can see my slide, give me a thumbs up. Thank you very much, Louise. Wow, I see your thumbs so big. Yeah. And Crystal also, she put emoticon, the reaction. Thank you so much, Felista. Okay, now can see my slides. So this is just some recap. Okay, even though it's say gain or loss, it's not like a challenge as you think it is. So how do things become hot or cold? Do you still remember? Have you all learned this before? Okay, you learned in P4, right? Yeah, so it's a quick recap. In P4, the kind of questions you see are like this. When you move on to P5, the questions get tougher and tougher, and the demand is higher. We'll be looking at some of the questions later. Okay, so this person is saying, ouch, the mug is so hot, then another person say, oh, the noodle turned cold, doesn't taste good anymore. Nobody likes to eat cold noodles except some Japanese noodles that we have tried before. Soba noodles, eaten cold. And that is very nice. Okay? So how come things actually are very hot? So how come things can actually be very cold? So we have to understand this concept here. When things get hotter or when things become hotter, they gain heat. Okay? Then when they actually become colder, they lose heat. Okay, this one so far okay. A very simple concept here. Okay, so when you're talking about heat transfer, all right, you need to write it in the right way. You need to write it such that it will be marked correctly. So very quick recall will be the mark is gaining heat, okay, from the hot chocolate. That's why the mark feels hot. Okay, so when you touch a particular cup, it feels very hot because you have hot drink inside, right? The heat from the hot drink has been transferred to the cup. Okay, so how do we phrase it? We phrase it in two different ways. The mug is gaining heat from the hot chocolate. The hot chocolate is losing heat to the mug. So far, okay? Okay, are you all writing like this? If you're writing like this, you're safe. But later on, there are more things for you to do. Okay? Okay, so you can see how the heat is actually moving. Heat always moves from a place where it's hotter to a place where it's cooler. Yeah, so this one you're fine. Another way, or shall I take another example over here? Okay, the surrounding, all right, the surrounding is gaining heat from the hot noodle. So we have the hot noodle here. All right, so the surrounding air gains heat from the hot noodle. We can also say the hot noodle is losing heat to the surrounding. Hold on now, I heard someone accidentally got that connection, is it? And then left the room. Can we call who? Okay, I hope the person comes in again. Okay, so hot to cold, heat will move from a hotter place to a cooler place. Any question here? Now, if we talk about something that is cold, maybe this piece of ice. Okay, so this piece of ice is gaining heat from the surrounding, right? So the surrounding is losing heat to the ice. So how does the heat flow? The heat flows from the surrounding to the cooler ice. The surrounding is warmer, the ice is cooler. What is the temperature of ice? Quickly type into the chat. What is the temperature of ice? Hey, ice is 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, 0 degrees Celsius. So long as it is still in the state of ice or when it is melting, it will be at 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, write that down. Only ice that has already melted into liquid, then the temperature rises. All right. Wouldn't be negative because we are talking about just ice here. If you want it to be negative Yankai, there's a way to do it. Okay, but you don't learn it in primary school. You learn it in secondary school. I have done that with the students before. Okay, but ice on its own is 0 degrees Celsius. Melting ice is still 0 degrees Celsius. Everyone must know this. Okay, only after melting has been completed. When these ice has totally become liquid, then the temperature will rise again. It can be 1 degree, 2 degrees, and so on. Okay? So heat always flows from a hotter place to a cooler place. The part that students missed out is this one. When you answer questions, I noticed that in P5, okay, a lot of students missed out this part here until both reaches same temperature. This is the part. You must always say this. Okay, why? Because there will be questions that will ask you what will be the final temperature. All right. So when you are explaining, you need to say heat flows from hotter place to cooler place until both places, okay, or both places reach the same temperature. Clear? Make sure you know, if I were to ask you later, you cannot answer this, then I know you didn't pay attention, okay? So just a demonstration of how heat flows. Very dark red means very hot. Okay, cooler is like the yellowish color here. So my cold apple juice becomes warm. Is this a heat gain or a heat loss? Let's try. Is this a heat gain or a heat loss? Okay, I want to see your responses. Yeah, many of you are typing. Yeah. Cold apple juice becomes warm. Yeah. Heat is gained by the apple juice, right? Calista as well as Clarice. Very good. Louise also heat gain. All right. The second one, raw chicken wings becomes cooked. So is it a heat gain or a heat loss by the chicken wing? Heat gain, heat gain. Very good, very good. How about the last one? Putting water into the freezer to make ice cube. Putting water into the freezer to make ice cube. Do you think this is a heat gain or heat loss? Yeah. Okay, only 2% answered. The last one, putting water. Yes, very good. All of you got it correct. Okay? So this is just a very quick chat. All right, great. So now, okay, now I'm going to go on to the next slide. Okay, just 1 minute. And I'm going to teach you a particular method. How many of you have already learned it? How many of you have already learned this? Claim, evidence, reasoning. Jerome did. Very good. Okay, Calista also. Are y'all good in this? Not good, huh? Never practice, is it? Yeah. Do you score full marks for your open-ended question? Never. Okay. So we are all here to learn right now. We have to make use of the CER approach, okay, to answer questions in order to secure our marks. Yeah, and this is something that students are very weak in. Okay, mistakes, experience already tell me that, students need a lot of help in this area. So how do we actually practice this? Okay, so one good way, of course, is for you to attend tutorial, because my style is I'll look at all your answer and I'm going to comment. Then I'll tell you what is right, what is wrong, what you're missing out. Now, CER approach is a very, very good way, okay, to get students to answer, get students to write explanation, all right, to any answer or any question they are trying to answer. Okay, it stands for plain evidence reasoning. So it is developed to help students answer the question, Okay, solve a scientific problem. So this method also is used to train students to develop the necessary skill set. If you want to tackle PSLE kind of question, CER approach is very, very crucial. If you are familiar with it, wonderful. If you are not familiar with it, how many of you totally don't know what is CER? Because there are some schools that don't use this. All know. Everybody know. Raiden, you don't know yet, is it? It's fine. Don't worry. Don't worry. Okay. Some schools only teach in P6. Some schools teach in P5. Some schools don't teach at all. Okay. So let's watch this particular video. Okay. I know what happened. Raiden, don't annotate on my slides. Okay. I will give you a chance to annotate. I know students love annotation. So don't worry. When it's time for me to get you to annotate, I will. Let me share the video. Just 1 minute. Okay, actually, that's all I want you to see. So you understand what is the meaning of claim, evidence, and reasoning. And do you realize many times when you answer science question, you either do claim and evidence or claim and reasoning? Do you realize that? Okay, so many times you lose marks. It's also because of that. If you're going to miss out on any part, you are not going to be given full marks. Okay, so let's come back to the slides. Okay, so when you make a claim, it's supposed to be just a statement with nothing, no evidence, no reasoning. So for example, you say, okay, State is a teacher, like what was mentioned in the video. All right, so no evidence and no reasoning, you just say State is a teacher. Okay, so if you want to have more to it, then of course you need to add in extra stuff. So example here, okay, in a question with wood lice in a pot. You know what's wood lice? It's a kind of insect, right? Okay, that feeds on wood. So wood lice in a box. Student can make a claim to say that wood lice prefer to live in dark areas. So this is just a claim. Nothing else added to it. All right. So if let's say we want to talk about evidence. Now, evidence is important because every time you write a claim, right, you need to support it with something you can find inside the text, inside that paragraph, inside the question. So that is called the evidence. Whatever is found inside there is the evidence. Okay, it is based on whatever diagram, model, table, or graph. Okay, sometimes it's just inside that paragraph, right? So a lot of times evidence is numeric in nature. So you need to quote the numbers to substantiate the claim, to support. Substantiate means support, to support your claim. Okay? For example, if you're talking about the wood lice question, okay, you can put in the evidence by saying things like after 2 hours, there are 10 wood lice in the sheltered area and 0 wood lice in the lighted area. So in this answer, student already quoted, right? Quoted and also compared the statistics. Statistics means numbers. So he did put in the number. Okay. So 10 wood lice in where? Sheltered area. So sheltered area is dark, whereas the lighted area has light, so it's bright. Okay, so evidence like this are important. After the evidence, what must you put in? You need to write down some scientific concept to explain your claim and evidence. Okay, so scientific concept, you need to understand that topic. If you have learned well in your science, you are able to write down this reasoning based on the concepts that you have learned. If you have not mastered all this, my suggestion is for you to watch all the e-learning videos, review what you have learned in P5. Okay? In P4. So that you can actually move on to do P5. Now, scientific concepts includes keyword. There are key concepts quoted in any topic in the textbook. I know that the textbook that you have are too simplified, but your teachers have given you sufficient notes. Okay, 88 Tuition, we have all the videos for you to watch. So long as you're subscribed to e-learning, you can watch those videos and learn all the science concept that's being taught there. Okay, so an example of good reasoning. Okay, answer would be, okay, some animals are nocturnal in nature, okay, because more wood lice are in the sheltered area. Okay, so the reasoning here, because more wood lice are found in the sheltered area, right? We saw it in the data, in the evidence. This means they prefer the dark. Okay, if you don't know the word nocturnal, is fine. you can already support to say that they prefer the dark and they are more active